If I had to describe rugby in one word, it would probably be interesting.
Physical, very, very physical.
Aggressive.
From Charlotte, but I think.
All right, boys, you know the fucking drill. You know what we gotta do? It's business today, business. Let's put up 100 points. Let's get that money. Let's go to nationals, all right?
In my definition, the best team that Memphis has ever put on the field. And this, to the Elite Eight, is the furthest this team has ever been. And if we were to win that game and go to the Final Four, then they would be unarguably the best rugby team Memphis has ever had. And we won that game against Georgetown 17-15, and it was just an amazing, dramatic game.
Damn straight. We lost years in a row, bro. We need this shit. I don't care. 2 years in a row. Just be respectful.
So last year we were a really new team. We were really developing individually, like every position. We had freshmen coming up from high school, and they've taken a really big step up, right? Filling in for the seniors that we lost last season. But I think the 7th season helped them develop as players, and you can tell how much work they put into the off season individually.
It's very demanding with people's, like, mentally it's draining because you get a hit, then you have to hit somebody else and hit somebody else for 80 minutes. It's very demanding. But physically, it's not just what we do at practice, it's what we do outside of practice, in the gym, working out, and then at practice when we're doing drills and tackling just dummies or ourselves. It's just physical from practice till the end of the season. Just every day it's physical.
For instance, I'll name out some people like Cyrus. Cyrus started off pretty new, but he did really well over 7s, and he's a heck of a player now. Kennedy as well. But I think last year a lot of people were still a little nervous coming into the college level of rugby.
Like I said, about half our guys, when they show up to our practices, have never even seen a rugby ball. They just know it's full contact sport and they want to play. For most of the guys that have never played, it takes about a year to build the confidence to play, a full contact sport without pads, and to understand the laws of the game and be safe. And that's the biggest thing that we have to look out for as coaches is, they can be the greatest athlete, that we've ever seen, but if they don't understand the game well enough, then they're not going to be safe for themselves, and they're not going to be safe for the people they're playing against and with. So that's one of the things that takes a while for players to learn and understand the different techniques and skills to keep yourself safe and everyone else safe while you're playing.
Trying to get a whole bunch of people together. It's hard when people have like differing personalities, differing opinions, and trying to get them all directed towards one goal. But our team's been pretty well behaved, as well as really considerate of each other, and we've developed as like a brotherhood, as a family, and it hasn't been too much of a problem. But I'd say that's really the hardest aspect. Everything else is pretty straightforward.
And Sarab is probably the best captain I've ever had. A fantastic leader for the players, and he's a great person for the coaches to go to get things done.
A coach, he's a coach's favorite type of captain. Somebody who inspires rather than breaks down people.
He's a super smart guy who's very serious about everything that he does.
So I played with Sarab since high school. He has his moments. Everybody has their moments, but he's probably the first person that'll look you in the eye, congratulate you, tell you what you're doing wrong, but also pick you up at the same time. One of the best teammates I'm ever going to have the pleasure of playing with. The culture is really coach-driven most days, in my opinion, and that's what I love about the coaches.
This is all volunteer work, so they don't get paid for this.
Yes. The coaches are all volunteers, and I've been the head coach here since 2019.
They do it out of their free time. they're always, Coach Coolbridge, Coach Phil, Coach Dave, they're all doing this just to help us, help benefiting us.
Coaching is pretty good, especially when coaches have actually had experience in rugby.
The backgrounds. Coach Phil being from England, Coach Coleridge being New Zealand, and then obviously American coaches like Coach Dave Hill and Coach Brooks, they lend a lot of their elements to where they came from. We have a lot of forward thinking with how the USA plays their forwards, and then we have our kicking game scheme from England, and then just our mentality and our culture built like New Zealand. So
Coach Coolbridge has taken a really big step up, really bringing up our our demeanor, I'd say our defense has tremendously increased just because of his he's really rudimentary. He's very straightforward in what he wants, and that really helps dial everyone in.
So it was actually I've had the pleasure of working with Coach Coolbridge before. And Coach Phil is really good with the backs, making up plays, learning how to read the defense and how to get some good outcomes for that.
Teams on our kind of box, it's going to be a much, much faster game. Doesn't mean to say we have to throw balls harder, just means we need to be more accurate and more precise with our passing. Okay?
And then Coach Dave oversees both sides, so it's really good seeing three leaders that everyone looks up to really take over for us and help us succeed.
Yeah, it's full contact, but it's continuous play. So if you get tackled, you have to release the ball, and someone from either team can get the ball and continue the play. And the whole idea in rugby is it's continuous play, so the rules are geared around making sure that the ball keeps moving and keeps playing. So everyone plays offense, everyone plays defense, everyone tackles, everyone runs with the ball, everyone passes the ball, kicks the ball. Like soccer, as you said, it has that aspect from soccer, and then from football it has the contact. Rugby was actually the forefather of American football, and so you'll see a lot of the terminology is the same or similar, and a lot of the tactics are the same or similar. For me at Memphis, probably the hardest aspect is that the kids aren't on scholarship, and so I have to be aware of and consider the fact that most of them have jobs. Of course, they have school, which comes first, but they have jobs and other commitments and responsibilities, and I just don't have access to them enough as a varsity, like a varsity sport would, to work with them as much as I'd like to. The school, we're a club sport, and the school treats us the same way they do all the clubs. They give us facility usage, and they give us $1,000 a year. Trying to raise the money, trying to get to away games, especially when we're playing at the level that we're playing at right now, to go to nationals. We were in the we were in the Midwest Regional this past weekend, which we had to leave on Thursday and come back on Sunday. So we had to pay for transportation, meals, hotels, all that stuff, without the help of the university. And our budget runs about $30,000 a year, and the kids pay $250 a semester to play, which raises about half the budget. And now in 3 weeks, we're going to turn around and do the same thing and go to Houston for 4 days and pay for that, which is going to run, I would think, about $15,000 for each of those trips. That's on top of our annual budget. So we're going out to the alumni now and friends of the program and supporters and sponsors and asking them to pitch in and help the team get to nationals. Seeing the kids progress through college. They come to us, they're 18 years old, they're fresh from home in high school, and to see them over the course of 4 years, become real adults and become men, to learn and grow at the university is probably the most rewarding thing, and to make friendships that last forever. I played at the University of Memphis in the 80s when it was Memphis State, and I still have friends from that team from almost 40 years. Every time we go on the road, somebody is there that I know from my playing days, and a lot of the people involved in rugby in Memphis at the high school level and the different programs in Memphis are former teammates of mine or former players from Memphis that came after I did.
But we're all now directed towards one goal, and that's nationals. So that same mindset, that same outcome, what we're looking for, is all uniform now, so it helps really much.
Tigers,